Hey family, what's good with you? I'm just checking in. I know it's been a while. Um, and just checking in, I wanted to apologize first and foremost for the two lives that I had scheduled that I had to cancel. I thought I was ready, but turns out I really wasn't. I just needed more time to kind of focus on myself and focus on my healing. And so that's what I've been doing. Um, I'm feeling a lot stronger. I guess I would say I'm still in shock. Like, still in shock. So that's where I am. But I did want to share with y'all, a few stories. Like I mentioned in my last video. One, the story of how we met, which was really strange and unique. And why I stopped uploading videos to the channel, and then why we separated. So I might break this down into 3 different videos, just for the sake of time. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll break it down into 3 different videos. So to start off with how we met. So one day I was meditating, right? And I was kind of like in travel mode, I guess you would say, because I had just retired and I had trips lined up. I was going like different places, Egypt, Belize, and I had a trip to I think it was Costa Rica. I was going back to Egypt again because Egypt is so big you can't see everything in one trip. And Spirit just was like, you need to go to Jamaica and look for the Rastas. So I'm like, look for the Rastas. And I'm thinking Blue Mountain. I'm like, okay, go to Jamaica, look for the Rastas. So what I did was I said, it's going to be a quick trip. I'm not going to stay long because I have this trip, I want to say maybe a 3-week trip lined up to go to Costa Rica. So I said, I'm going to squeeze in Jamaica real quick because it kind of felt like the energy that I was getting was like, I needed to go quick. So scheduled my trip to Jamaica, right? But I did like a 7-day trip to Jamaica. I did 3 days at a resort. And then I wanted to do like a few days out in the country, like out in nature. So I went on Airbnb, looked through Airbnb, and that's when I saw the Freelance Chucky Airbnb listing. So I'm looking at all the pictures and stuff, and I was like, okay, that look cool. And I was like, okay, this is an older guy, because I'm a solo female traveler, so I always keep that at the forefront of my mind when I'm traveling. I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm going somewhere where I feel like I'm going to be safe. So he was, an older gentleman. So I was like, okay, he's probably married. He probably has a very sweet, loving wife, and he probably has kids that help him run the Airbnb. I'm thinking all these things in my mind. And I'm like, they probably take real good care of me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get there, like I'm their own family or whatever. So, and then I really love the fact that it was just, it said that the location was right on the river and there was bed and breakfast. So I just knew I was going to be eating good. I just knew the meals were going to be amazing. So yeah. So that's why I booked that Airbnb. But I only booked for like 4 days, 3 or 4 days. So I get to the resort. The resort is cool. I go to the Airbnb, man. Boy, that was an experience for me. That was an experience for me. Because I'm used to being like pampered and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that it was going to be a little bit of that. Child, bye. That is not the experience that I had. So the first mistake was, okay, well let me just say, when I got there, Printer had picked me up. It was the bus from Montego Bay to Port Antonio. That ride, it seemed like it took forever. I got there, it was like 9 o'clock at night, and that made me uncomfortable because I'm like, okay, who's this guy that's coming to pick me up and where are we going? How far is it? You know what I'm saying? And then on the drive to the Airbnb, it seemed like it took forever. Like, and it was pitch black. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any street lights. I'm like, gosh, where am I going? I'm going in the country. Like, I know people saying it is safe and, but like, I'm kind of like spazzing out a little bit in my mind because it's so daggone late and I'm by myself. So, Printer's taking me there and it's super dark. And we pull up to the Airbnb, super dark. And he's pulling my stuff out. And I guess he's calling Chucky. And Chucky comes out. And, bruh, I was like, who in the hell is this? And I wish he was here to hear me tell this story because I know he would be cracking up laughing. He came out to meet me. His clothes were like he was rolling around in the ground. I don't know, I don't know what he was doing. His clothes were soiled. His pants were open. His hat was cocked to the side. I don't know if he was had woken up quick out of his sleep or what. I'm not 100% sure. He was barefoot. And I just looked, I was like, that's not what I was expecting. And I think he looked at me and thought the same thing. Because my picture on Airbnb, I didn't have locks. I was wearing a wig or something. I don't know. So I'm sure he looked at me and was like, that's not what I was expecting. But, so yeah, he helped me up. He helped take my stuff up into the room, put me in a room right next to his, because he liked to sleep in the first cabin that you come to, in the row of cabins. So he put me in a room right next to his, and, which was cool. I kind of felt comfortable with that. And so that night, I didn't know where I was, right? Because of course I had seen the pictures on Airbnb, but that didn't really give me an idea of what was around me and the whole scope of things. So I was eager for morning to come so I could see what all the beautiful settings were, because I had heard that night, I had heard the birds flying down the river, the crickets, it was so many night sounds of animals and bugs and stuff. I'm like, bruh, I have got to see where am I? So the morning came. I was super excited. I was like, bed and breakfast. What they frying up in the kitchen? I'm about to eat good, right? Child, that's what I thought. Anyway, so I get to till everybody's up and stirring around. He up sweeping, of course, because that's his favorite thing to do in the morning is sweep up the Airbnb, child. If he don't do nothing else, he gonna sweep. So I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, I'm sniffing. I'm like, what's cooking for breakfast? What they got going on for breakfast, right? I'm getting hype. I'm lit. I'm ready. I'm out. I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, it's beautiful. All these palm trees. I didn't see the river because it had kind of grown up, and I guess they hadn't cut the cut things back at that point. So I went out, just kind of trying to check on breakfast, child, because in my mind, I'm still at a resort. But I learned quickly that there wasn't no plan for breakfast. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do because there wasn't food there for me to cook. And I got there at night, so I didn't really see any restaurants or any food spots or anything like that. So I didn't know what the plan was. So that was my first big disappointment, that there was no food. And I was really inside my feelings about that. And I think he felt that energy, that I was really upset. Because I'm like, why does it say bed and breakfast and there ain't no breakfast? Bruh, who does that? So I was a little upset and agitated about that. Then, on top of there not being any breakfast, everybody was just kind of sitting around. And I'm like, I like to go out and I like to do stuff. If I'm paying to come here, to travel, I want to create some memories and have some experiences and some adventures. So it didn't seem like nobody was concerned about any kind of activities or doing anything. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the right spot for me. Cause like, I like to go and I like to have fun. And, so, they just hanging around. Um, I walked down to the river, got a glimpse of that. That was beautiful. But again, I wanted to eat and I wanted to plan my day because I only had like that first day was eaten up riding on the bus. I didn't get to his house till about 9:30 or his Airbnb till about 9:30. So yeah, that whole day was eaten up on the bus. I only had like 2 more days really to do any kind of activity. So um I do think that he was a little bit perturbed with me at that point because I'm like, okay, what is there to do? What is there to eat? Blah, 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 blah. And as he has to break the news to me, you basically you on your own. He didn't say that, but that's basically what it boiled down to. Then he probably felt my energy shift, like, and so I think that kind of put him off as well. He probably was like, she too high maintenance, like, you know what I'm saying? And so I was looking forward to leaving. I was looking forward to my time being up and leaving. I just went with the flow. I just, kept a nice demeanor, pleasant demeanor, as pleasant as possible, and just went with the flow. Then, y'all, when it was time for me to leave, oh my gosh, like my little 2 days were up, and all of a sudden, well, actually, before it was time for me to leave, him and we had sat down and had a few conversations about like politics and society and like our beliefs and, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of freelance politicking, like on our views and stuff like that. And I think it was surprising for both of us to see how much we had in common when it comes to our perspective, our perception on life, on society, on culture, on the current state of the world. So that's really, really what opened the gate to us really kind of our connection was just that mental consciousness, that level of consciousness we kind of connected on. And so when it was time for me to leave, I still was excited to leave, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, this ain't for me. Like, I need food. I need some activities and stuff. And, but the craziest thing happened, bruh. When it was time for me to leave, that night, a storm came. And when I tell you, it was the craziest storm, bro. It was like a freaking monsoon. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was like a monsoon mixed with a tropical storm, mixed with a hurricane, the lightning was crazy. It was crazy, bro. The rain, I don't think I've ever experienced rainfall like that. And it may have been a little bit more amplified because of the zinc roof, but bruh, when I tell you that rain came down, it came down so hard, so fast, for so long, and the storms that kept rolling through. I was just like, bruh, there's no way I'm leaving. There's no way. There's no way no bus can travel from to here to Mo Bay and all of this, because this has to create flooding. All of this rain has to create flooding, and it has to create some kind of mudslides because it was absolutely coming down. And lo and behold, a few days after, we would find out that yes, it had in fact created mudslides, and people's homes and stuff almost like slid off the foundation. Like, so anyway, so it's raining, raining, raining. And then the next morning, I'm like, okay, surely by the morning time, it's going to stop. Child, the rain kept going to like, say I had to be at the bus station at 8:30 and Printer was supposed to pick me up at 8. The rain stopped at like 8. And I had like a 15-minute window to get to the bus station, and that bad boy came back. And I'm nervous because I'm like asking Chucky, I'm like, are you sure that it's gonna be safe to travel? Like, you sure it's not gonna be a lot of flooding and da 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 da? And he's like, yeah, it's good, you're good. I'm sure he just wanted me out of his hair because he probably knew that wasn't what I was expecting, that I was expecting a little bit more than he was willing to offer. He could have cooked me some food though. He could have if he wanted to, but I don't think he wanted to. So it was time for me to go. And I'm like, are you sure? I'm walking up with my bags and I'm like not getting a good feeling because I'm like, bruh, I think the sky is gonna fall again on our way to the thing and we're gonna get swept off the road with all this rain. So I'm going up the thing with up the walkway with my bags, child. Well, one of my bags. He's got some other bags. And then the dog, Peanut, comes and blocks me. So I can't move. And I'm thinking all through the night when this rain is coming down, I'm like, okay, Spirit don't want me to leave. There's something that I haven't gotten yet. There's a lesson that I haven't gotten yet. Even though I was inside my feelings, I was a little bit, turned off by the fact that there were no meals and there were no activities. There's something that I was supposed to get that I hadn't gotten yet. A lesson? I don't know. In my mind, I was like, Spirit is showing me that this man is supposed to teach me something, show me something. I'm supposed to be connected to this man in some way. I'm not really 100% sure. But the way the rain and the storms were coming, that's what I felt in my spirit. Then the dog came and blocked me from moving forward up the walkway with my bags. I'm like, okay, Spirit, I see you. I see you, Spirit. So I get to the bus station, child, and it starts absolutely going nuts again. Like right before we get to the bus station. Bruh, the weather was acting so crazy. I was like, bruh, I am not getting on that bus. I let Printer drop me off and everything, but I was like, bruh, I am not getting on that bus. This weather is too crazy. So I stayed at the bus station until I could find somewhere else to go, another spot to go, to figure out what I was going to do. So a taxi driver came or I think a lady at the bus station, the lady that worked at the bus station, the Nuxford, she called a taxi or something like that. And he was able to take me to a guest house that was right there in Port Antonio. And he was able to take me to get something to eat and some drinks and stuff to put in the room and stuff like that. Like, he was very accommodating. So I got set up and situated in that room. And I was like, oh, Spirit, you gonna send me back there? Why do I need to go back there, Spirit? Why? I don't really want to go back there. Because he wasn't very friendly. He was not very friendly and very accommodating. And I think it's because he probably viewed me as being like some just bougie African American, maybe materialistic, you know what I'm saying? He probably, in retrospect, I feel like he probably viewed me as just a materialistic African American somebody, which I don't think interests him at all. Because I did come to find out later that he dated primarily white women, which that's his choice. I don't think he ever dated any black women. I'm not sure. I don't really know. So anyway, I'm like, dang, Spirit, you gonna send me back there? Like, so I booked another 7 days to go back to figure out what Spirit wanted me to do, what I needed to learn. And not only did all of that happen, but when I first got to the Airbnb, I asked him that morning that I woke up, I asked him about the Blue Mountains. Because remember, I was meditating and I heard Spirit said, you need to go check the rosters. Go and look for the rosters. So I asked him about the Blue Mountains, and he wasn't forthcoming with much information. It was like he didn't really know how to guide me or give me, direction to get to the Blue Mountains, which I thought was kind of strange because I thought he was a roster. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a roster, or I don't know. Let me tell you, Owen was so freelance. I don't think he belonged to anything, honestly. I just don't think he belonged to anything. I think Rastafarianism, as far as being some of the foundational beliefs still stuck with him, like not being a part of the system and or trying not to, living your life as far outside the system as possible, not being materialistic, living in a simple lifestyle, treating other people kind and, giving other people love. I think those foundational things were in him, but he was so freelance. He wasn't going to let anybody's religion tell him what to eat, what to do, how to think, how to be, how to live his life. Like, he just wasn't about that. He wasn't about any religion. As far as I could see, as far as I could tell from our conversations, from his actions, he wasn't about that. He wasn't about no religion. He was about just love. You know what I'm saying? From what I could see. Now, I couldn't see everything because we weren't together. We were only together about 5 months. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see everything. So from what I could see, yeah, nothing could control him. He was his own sovereign man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what attracted me to him, because I'm the same way. I don't subscribe to any religion. I just don't. I can't subscribe to all the things that we've been taught, because I feel like so much of it is lies and manipulation to keep us in bondage mentally, to keep us enslaved mentally. So a lot of the things that the system does, I do not fit into that box. We did not fit into that box. I read in the comments, somebody mentioned something about his funeral, and they were like, "Oh, you at the minimum, you should have been at his funeral." No, I shouldn't have. That's your belief. Society has brainwashed you to believe that way. I have my own beliefs. I have my own spiritual beliefs. No, I shouldn't. I do what I want to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do. I say what I want to say. I move how I want to move. I do it when I want to do it. I don't do it if I don't want to do it. That's just what it is. Nothing or no one controls me in this system. I control myself. I have my own sovereignty. I'm my own sovereign being. So anything that you think I should do, that's you and your opinion and the little box that you're in with the rest of society. That has nothing to do with me. So please don't hold your breath with expectations of what you think I should do. That's not the way I roll. I roll in my own energy with my own mind. I'm not a puppet. I'm not here for your entertainment 100% of the time, especially when it involves losing somebody that I love. And that really, listen, I may be going around in so many different areas, but that really needs to be said, because you have to understand the difference. In YouTube for a show, a lot of people do YouTube because they need money, they want views, it's about a show, it's about entertainment, right? So when Owen passed, and I'm gonna say this as gently as I can say it, there were a lot of people who came out the woodworks, family and all, that treated this man like shit, but took the opportunity to ride the wave. You see what I'm saying? And gain some kind of views or some kind of attention off of his passing. And that's not the cloth that I'm cut from. That's not the fabric that I'm cut from. I'm not going to use somebody's demise as a means to get attention, as a means to clout chase, as a means to ride a wave. Like, I don't have to prove to nobody nothing. I don't have to prove to nobody nothing. Y'all saw everything. Y'all saw all the love that I poured into that man in the videos. So I don't have to come on here and make no statement about nothing. Nobody's passing nothing. I don't have to do that. Why? For your entertainment? Baby, that's not the way the game goes. That's not the way the game goes with me. I don't have to do that for clout. I don't have to do that for views. I don't have to do that for YouTube. This is a personal situation. These are my personal feelings. You feel me? And I just want to give a big shout out and send so much respect to everybody who just backed off and gave me the time and was patient and was understanding. You the ones that I fuck with. All these other motherfuckers, I don't fuck with them. You the ones that I fuck with. You see what I'm saying? The real ones. The real ones, they don't make them like us no more. Everybody's out here in this fake ass world being fake. They don't make them like us no more. People repost my videos, you know what I'm saying, to cause drama and divide and discord. Fake. These motherfuckers be fake and be the main ones in the comments saying, oh, hey, oh, you know, shout out, bless up, blah, 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 blah. Fake, bro. Yeah, no, I don't believe in funerals. That's a society thing. I'm not part of society. I told myself I would never go to another funeral. If I lose a loved one, I want to remember them just as they are. You know what I mean? I want to remember them just as they are. I don't want to see their dead body. What's cool in that? How is that cool? How is that? I just, bruh. And let me tell you something else. I don't want nobody to see my dead body. Because 9 times out of 10, people only come to see you because they fucking nosy. They don't even fuck with you that much. People that talked about you behind your back when you wasn't listening or looking, you know, they smile in your face. They don't call to check on you. They don't give a shit until something happens. Then they clout chase and be like, oh, I love this, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. Bro, no, you didn't. Stop the bullshit. Come on, man. People go to funerals to be nosy. They want to see what you look like dead, laying in your casket. Come on now. People that don't even fuck with you, man. That halfway, little bit fuck with you. They just go to be nosy. It's sad, man. It's sad. It's sad how low we've fallen as a human race. It's just sad. So anyway, we didn't kick off on a very good foot. We didn't kick off with a bang. It wasn't love at first sight. I had to book an additional 7 days because I was just being obedient to spirit. Like, what is it that I have to learn? What is it that I have to find here? I'm not sure. I had never met, well, I didn't know of this freelance Chucky until I met him at the Airbnb. He asked me when I got to the Airbnb, I think it was like maybe my second day there. He was like, do you know me from YouTube? I was like, know you from YouTube? Why would I know you from YouTube? It's a billion channels on YouTube. Why in the hell would I know you from YouTube? I'm thinking to myself, why the hell would I know you from YouTube? Like, that's a weird ass question. I'm thinking like this man had like maybe, I don't know, 500 subscribers or something. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, I'm in America, you in Jamaica. Why the hell would I know you from YouTube? But then as the 7 days started popping off and people started coming in, he was like, after he asked me, he was like, oh, because, you know, a lot of people come here because they know me from YouTube. I was like, oh, okay. So then he told me what his YouTube channel was. And then I went to his YouTube channel, I don't know, at some point during the trip. And I looked and I was like, oh, okay. Wow, he's got a pretty nice size following. I think it was like 60K. And then, but then I was like, well, why is he not making videos anymore? That's kind of weird. I think it was like, I got there in October. And I think when I got there, he had made videos for like 3 months or something like that, possibly. I'm not sure. But I noticed that there was like a little gap. And I was like, that's kind of weird that he not making videos no more. So anyway, fast forward from not making videos. Then he gets a guest that comes in, Dwight. Child, probably his biggest fan on the planet. I don't know. maybe not. But no, I can't say that because he's got some pretty big fans everywhere. And so Dwight comes in, and that was the day that him and I had went rafting. Right. I took my little camcorder, whatever. It's not a camcorder. It's my video thing, handheld digi video thing, whatever, out to record that because I had bought a digi because, like I said, I had been traveling, and I said, well, maybe I should be recording footage of all my different adventures and travels. Maybe one day I'll put them all together and make like a travel vlog or something like that. But I hadn't settled on that. I just had the camera just so I could capture really beautiful things as I'm traveling around throughout the earth. So I took my my camera with me to record that. And we get back and we meet Dwight. And Dwight is like, oh my gosh, it's Chucky, da 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 da. And then I think at that's what kind of clicked for me, that this man was a man of influence. Like, and I had not watched any, even up to this day, y'all, I have not seen any of his videos. I take that back. I saw one. I saw one video where he went to go change brakes, I think, on his bike, or change spark plugs or something like that. And that was the video that I saw. Because when him and I met, I didn't have no need to watch no videos, because we was like, from the time we met, I say from those 7 days on, it's like we never separated. We never separated. So when Dwight came, that's when all the adventures started taking off. Like everything, I wanted to get out and do stuff. We went up to the Blue Mountains, went to go to the do coffee. He was, because Dwight wanted to get footage for his channel, I think. And so that took us away from the yard. You know what I'm saying? And Dwight had a vehicle, and so we were going all over the place, and that was really, really, really fun. And so Dwight, he's in my ear. You need to do YouTube. You need to do YouTube. You need to do YouTube. I mean, non-stop from the time we met to the time he left. And I'm like, he's like, you need to do a YouTube channel. You need to do a YouTube channel. And I'm like, Spirit, is this why you brought me back here? Is this, surely this can't be why you brought me back here to tell me this, that I need to do a YouTube channel. I don't know, because, I'm still looking out for the clues. Like, why was I brought back here? Like, what am I supposed to learn here? And so in the process of us going out and enjoying, different things, we went to Somerset Falls and Blue Mountains, and, I'm spending time around the general. He's spending time around me. We went rafting, sitting close. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of like, I guess, feeling each other out. I don't know. But I kind of felt like he was kind of cool. Like, he came out looking like a homeless mountain man the first day that I met him. And then he started cleaning himself up. He started cleaning himself up. He wasn't wearing soiled clothes. He was wearing a belt. Child, he started wearing shoes. Not shoes, but his little boots that he liked to wear. So I kind of got a different image. I started seeing a different side of him, especially when, like, we would have to go out. You know what I'm saying? He would take showers. I was like, okay. So he does know. He does know, y'all. If y'all had seen him the night that I met him, child, goodbye. You would have been like, who the hell is that? Which I was, very much so. But yeah, just us hanging out, kicking it, enjoying life, eating, cooking. Like, you saw the videos where he was showing me how to cook ackee and saltfish and coconut rice and blah, 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 blah. So just doing those things. And then I said, well, okay, he offered to take me on the bike to go to the beach or whatever. And I was like, I don't know if I want to ride a motorbike. I don't know, because I know they drive kind of crazy in Jamaica. So I was a little bit, concerned about that. But I threw caution to the wind. I was like, screw it. Okay, let's go. And that's when we went to the rafting. That was the first activity that he actually took me to do. And he took me to get food. And I was like, okay. So I see a different side of this guy. He's not a caveman. He does have a little bit of je ne sais quoi, whatever the hell that means. But I was just like, yeah, I see a little different side. So, yeah, so we meet Dwight. We going all over the place. And Dwight's all in my ear. You need to do YouTube. And Chucky's like, yeah, YouTube. And I'm just like, Spirit, I don't know about that. Because I never wanted to do YouTube because, one, I had tried it before. Two, it takes so much effort. Like, I didn't want to give effort. You know what I'm saying? I'm retired. I just want to enjoy life. I don't want to be on no deadlines. I don't want to build any huge expectations from an audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to take up my time having to edit, having to do this, having to do that, having to learn this, learn that. It just seemed like it was an overwhelming thing to do. So but I was like, we'll see. So I had the camera. So I was like, we'll see. So I'm recording everywhere that we're going with Dwight. I'm recording because I'm like, let me see what I can do. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can figure something out. That's how we met. Very unconventional. It had a lot to do with the weather. It had a lot to do with Peanut blocking my path and not allowing me to move through with my bags. That's how we met. That's how we got started. That's how the channel was started. Dwight banging it in my head. And not only that, I was it was one morning I would say, okay, so I extended for 7 days. Then it was like I was about to leave in like three days, something like that. And I couldn't sleep, and it was a full moon. So I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning hanging out in the hammock, sitting under the palm trees, taking a moon bath. Excuse me, taking a moon bath. So I'm just bathing in the moonlight. And I'm just sitting there swinging, swinging. And then Spirit's like, you need to do a YouTube channel. And I'm like, for real, Spirit? That's what you brought me back here for? He was like, you need to do a YouTube channel, and you need to guide the people back to nature. You need to guide the people, because nature, bro, that's all I know. Anywhere I go, I'm always in nature. Like, on some real talk. That's all I know. That's in the States. That's all I know is being in nature. And when I'm in nature, it's like I'm in school. It's like I'm in university or college, because I'm always studying everything. Nothing passes my eye in nature. I'm always studying the insects, studying the animals, the plants, which trees are bearing nuts, which trees are bearing fruits, what the animals are doing, how they live in their communal settings, what kind of interaction they have with their environment, what kind of interaction they have with the sun. Like, I'm always studying. That's my thing. And so Spirit was like, you need to take the people back to nature. I think that the general and I mentioned it. There is going to come a time where it's going to be extremely important for you to know how to survive in nature, for you to have a connection with nature. That is going to be highly important in the future. Your connection with nature is going to depend on whether you are able to survive or not, potentially. Not having a connection with nature, you run the risk. You're taking the risk of whatever happens, just kind of going with the flow of it, I guess. But I think as humans, we have a sovereign obligation to know how to survive in nature, to know how to function in nature. That's a must. We cannot be 100% dependent on other people, grocery stores, government systems, the matrix, to take care of us. And we said that before in other videos. We said that before in our videos in the States when we were out at the park. But anyway, so that's how the channel was started, right? And I started calling him the General. I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's my last statement. I started calling him the General because he told me his name wasn't Chucky. And I was like, really? He was like, no, that was a pet. That was kind of like a pet name or whatever, my street name. I was like, oh, okay. He told me his real name. And I knew he had influence from his channel. So that's why I started calling him the General. Because of his influence. So I never called him Chucky. I use the term Chucky today in this video because that's what you all know him as. But even when we were together in our relationship, I never called him Chucky. I would always call him Babe or Owen, or that's it. But anyway, that's the first video, how we met. Now, the second video, I'll explain why I stopped making these videos, why I had to step back and away from the channel. All right, family.